I'm in a supermarket complex in the small Polish town of Przemysl near the Ukrainian border. This town usually has a population of about 60,000 people, but it's ballooning, and that's because Ukrainian refugees are streaming across the border in extraordinary numbers. This is a supermarket complex like any in a Western country, but it's a surreal scene now. You can see children resting on mattresses. Most of what you see here has been donated, and these families are taking a rest after making exhausting journeys from the war zone. And this town is where many of them come before travelling onwards to take shelter. Outside in the car park is teeming with people. Busloads of refugees are arriving from the border crossing, and more buses are arriving to take refugees onwards to cities in Poland and to countries across Europe. There are also drivers, volunteer drivers, who've arrived from places like Germany, Denmark, Austria and Estonia, and they're offering refugees lifts to countries all over Europe. It's an extraordinary grassroots volunteer movement that's emerging here. We spoke to a number of refugees on a bus headed for Prague, and here's a little bit of what they had to say.
Всю жизнь.
We left on Saturday when we realised there were rocket launchers and tanks coming towards us. We made it out just in time because 30 minutes later they were already there in our town.
Я не могу так.
Who have you left behind in Ukraine?
Brother, friends, my lovely work, my lovely apartment, my lovely Ukraine, actually.
We're starting to meet people here who are coming from cities that are under direct attack, cities like Kiev and Kharkiv. We came across one woman, an elderly wheelchair-bound woman who was in a car. She was being driven through Kharkiv by her children to try to get her to Poland, and it came under direct attack. Soldiers firing guns on the car, and we were told by her son that a bullet grazed her head. She's now being looked after by volunteer medicos here. With millions more refugees expected, a coordinated international effort is really going to be needed. It's hard to imagine, with staggering numbers already entering this town and so many more expected, what this place is going to look like in a week, let alone a couple of months, if the war continues.